Hey everybody, and welcome to V5, where we spend exactly 5 minutes getting on our soapbox about some of the hottest takes in all of B2B sales and B2B SaaS. I'm joined today by Mark Kilens. Mark is the CEO and co-founder of TACK. Now, true story, I don't know Mark's hot take. He said he's going to surprise me in real time. So Mark, you know how to play. Let's do it. Your hot take. Let's go.
I'm going to go right into it, Jarod. So channels are dead, even though I don't like absolute statements, but channels are dead. Networks are the future of all of marketing.
Okay, tell me more.
So, a typical channel, you got email marketing, paid social, paid search. There's like 12 to 15 of them, typical channels. Everyone thinks in channels. We got to plan for channels. We got to optimize for channels. We got to look at the ROI of channels. But here's the thing with channels. There hasn't been many new channels created in the last 10 years. Every channel that exists out there is becoming more and more noisy. You talked about this right before we went live. Everyone has less and less attention, or is willing to give you less and less of their attention for anything these days. So you're competing with more people in these channels that are costing you more money. And for a lot of companies that are VC backed, even private equity backed, it is not easy to see the investment payoff in these channels, and the investments you've made, a lot of times they're very short-term in nature. They don't compound. They're not like annuities. However, if you think about networks, and there's 3 types of networks you should look at: people, brands, and places. How do you partner with different individuals, different brands, aka companies, or different places like an online community, an event, a physical location? How do you partner with those networks? And those networks probably have networks within those networks to help you reach the right buyers, the right customers. I'll pause there.
Well said. And I feel seen with that take. I feel like a lot of other marketers and go-to-market leaders feel seen and validated with that take. Many of us have just completed kind of our annual budget. And what did we do? We aligned our spend to channels. There's still time. What would you say to us?
So here's what I would do. So channels are not technically dead. And that's why I said I hate absolute statements. You're going to need channels because that's what you use to get your message out there. But there's 2 things to consider now. The message is becoming more and more important. How you say it, but like how it's truly different. But what's even more important, the message, is the messenger. Who says that thing? And even how they say it. And then the channel still just like what they're going to use to say what they have to say. So the messenger is more important. So what I'd recommend companies do, and we help customers do this, is build an ecosystem map, a network map, if you will. So you're literally going to take your ideal customer profile or segment of it and say, I'm going to map out, and I'm going to first identify and find and research all of the people, brands, and places that could be part of this map, build them into the spreadsheet, organize as much of the data as I can get on each of them, and then I'm going to visualize it. And even start to make connections between the different networks to see where are the biggest areas of opportunity. And then you can think about, well, how do I reach my ICP through these networks? Is it email? Is it paid? Is it an influencer play? Is it a webinar? Is it an event or whatever? Right? That's the channel piece.
Yeah, I love this. And again, it's part of what we think a lot about, even internally, in terms of how do we reach our audience. What I pick up in what you say is trust really underpins it all. When I think about people, when I think about places, when I think about brands, those are things you have to trust, right? I got to trust in this network. I got to trust in this brand. I got to trust in this person. And I do feel like, if you can find a way to, for lack of a better term, bottle all that up, or get an understanding of some of the synergies between the people you want to buy your stuff and the people that they trust, everything gets easier. But I'm not paraphrasing. It's just what I took away.
Yeah, no, trust is one of the core components. I mean, resonance is very important. It goes back to like trust. You trust a person. It goes back to the idea of the messenger, right? And you trust that person because there is consistency over time that allows you to build that trust, right? And there's usually some form of reciprocity in play. So yeah, I mean, how do you create trust faster? Well, you can't circumvent that, but you can find, to your point, the people, the places, the brands that have established trust, and see if there's ways you could add value to the trust they've created to their audience, so that at some time in the future, you might be able to get some value back from what you give.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. You heard him. Channels are not dead yet, dead-ish. And for more on this hot take, don't hesitate to drop your comments in our feeds anywhere you get your podcast. We'd love to expand on this accordingly. So, Mark, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend.
All right. Thank you. You're listening to The Unexpected Lever. For additional resources, check out Vivint.com. Got a soapbox you'd like us to talk about longer? Let us know by messaging me, Jarod Greene, on LinkedIn.